Okay, so have you heard this major update that has happened with the red heifer prophecy? They finished building that $1 billion altar on the Mount of Olives.
The scriptures are coming alive before our very eyes, and many people don't even realize what's happening. And it all has to do with the Bible and some red cows in Israel.
What if I told you that the world's end was linked to some red cows in the Middle East? At first, it might seem a bit far-fetched, but it's actually not. The arrival of the red heifers is prophesied in Christianity, Judaism, and even Islam. In all these religious prophecies, the red heifer is very important, and its arrival impacts not just the region, but potentially the entire world.
We gotta understand that things work together in steps. One thing leads to another. And if you know nothing about what's going on with the red heifers, watch this.
A red heifer is critical for the rituals of the Third Temple according to the Old Testament. Specifically, in Numbers 19, the Israelites needed the ashes of a red heifer for purification rituals at the temple. Today, the emergence of a red heifer is viewed by many as an indication that the building of the Third Temple and the return of Christ are approaching.
The red heifer is needed for the building of the Third Temple in Israel. And the prophecies of the Bible talk about this Third Temple. Certain things are not going to happen until this temple is rebuilt. And it's crazy that all of these attacks are happening against the Jewish people in this time, the same time these red heifers are finally found. Listen to what these Muslims have to say about what's going on.
We are inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound where ultra-nationalist and extremist Jewish settlers are planning to storm Al-Aqsa in large numbers during the Jewish Passover holiday. They're also planning to slaughter 5 red cows. Slaughtering a red cow is believed by Jewish extremists to be a divine commandment that paves the way for the building of the Third Temple, replacing the Dome of the Rock.
Now, he just made a whole bunch of assumptions. And I don't know about you, but I didn't hear about any Jews storming that mosque during Passover. But besides the point, the Muslims know what's happening to a certain degree, that the building of this Third Temple could very well replace the Dome of the Rock Mosque. And here's something wild you need to know.
According to rabbinical tradition, 9 red heifers have been sacrificed since Moses' time, but none since the destruction of the Second Temple.
None since the destruction of the Second Temple. That's almost 2,000 years ago. And now we are seeing, after 2,000 years, the first indications of a red heifer to be sacrificed to begin the building of the Third Temple. And the massive question that everybody is asking is, when will they sacrifice the red heifer?
The 5 red heifers are now in a secure, undisclosed location in Israel. Plans include moving them sometime soon to a visitor center in Shiloh, where the tabernacle of the Lord once stood for nearly 400 years. The book of Numbers explains that ashes of the red heifer are used to purify priests for their service in the temple. These red heifers are now between 1.5 to 2 years old. To replicate the ceremony mentioned in the Bible, they need to be at least 3 years old. And within that time span, they cannot have a blemish or anything that would disqualify them for the ceremony, even one white or black hair.
So the red heifers are there, but they're not old enough. They're 1.5 to 2 years old, but they must be at least 3 years old, without any blemish, white or black hair. That's telling me we have about 1 year to go before the first red heifer is sacrificed, to then use those ashes to begin their sacrificial ceremonies once again. And even though this is so mind-blowing that this is happening today, there are some Jewish people in Israel that have no idea of what's taking place.
האמת שלא יודע,
לא שמעת על זה.
לא כזה מרגש אותי, לא...
Oh, wait, there's more.
I don't think so. Like, the idea of the red heifer is like, it's a religious idea.
No, I don't care about it.
No.
No.
לא ממש.
Okay.
Well, no.
Okay.
המשיח היה רוצה הבא, כאילו לא חושב שצריך לגדל פרות אדומות בשביל לזרז אותו, כאילו אם הוא ירצה לבוא, הוא יבוא, אנחנו נרגיש, עד אז לא צריך להכריח את זה.
These are Jews. descendants of Abraham. It's sad to see that the Jewish people don't even realize what's taking place, that they don't even care. But we know from the scriptures that the Jewish people are asleep in many ways. So asleep, they don't even realize their Messiah had come and died for their sins on the cross 2,000 years ago. And speaking of Jesus, this is what he said: "Do not think that I came to abolish the law or the prophets. I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill." Even though we're under the New Testament, there are still things to be fulfilled in the Old Testament that we are seeing happening amongst the Jewish people. Take, for example, all the riots that are happening, the protests against Israel. Literally, it seems like the world is rising up against this little land in the Middle East. But even with all the signs happening, with prophecy literally coming to pass, people still say the same thing they did 2,000 years ago. Where is the promise of his coming? For ever since the fathers fell asleep, all things are continuing as they were from the beginning of creation. But the signs are being shown to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. It just takes somebody to read the Bible and then look around and see that we are in the very end, that the signs of his coming are taking place. But we also know, for you yourselves are fully aware, that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. There will be those that have no idea. Just like these Jewish people that have no idea what's taking place in their land, even professing Christians in church every Sunday, Jesus will come as a thief in the night. And the Bible tells us that many will not be ready for his coming. And my question to you all watching right now is, are you ready to meet Jesus if he came tonight? If you've been following me for some time, you know I like to do outreach. I want to tell people about Jesus. And one way I feel like is really awesome is have some bold Christian shirts. This is a shirt I designed that says nothing but the blood, and it has an image of Jesus there that represents the blood. I have a bunch of these shirts. You can click the link below to check out. It's a way to support this ministry. It's also a way to point people to Jesus when you're in the gym, the grocery store, the bank, down the street. I love wearing these shirts wherever I go. You can learn more, click the link below. And to see more videos like this, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.